Here is a quick rundown of my VIP Discord and possibly Telegram trade ideas. So the very first thing I do is I pull up this beautiful software called the EdgeFinder, and what it does is it collects all of the most recent economic fundamental data for whatever asset we're looking at, and it gives it a bullish or a bearish score out of 5 that I consider. There's a bunch of other information that I also look at and consider here to come up with the best bias for the day. The next thing I do is I multi-timeframe analysis. I start with this hour chart, and what I'm looking at here is just some really high quality key levels that have shown past high levels of liquidity, supply and demand, structure, market structure, everything and anything. And the other thing I really look at, guys, is this little red line. I could write a whole book on how relevant this red line is. It is the 1 hour ATR for my risk system, specifically for day trading and prop firms. So that's something I consider first. I next go down to the 15-minute time frame. I actually pull up the volume here because we know when there's high volume in one direction that could signal a potential reversal as well in the market price. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at volume, I am looking at price action, I am looking at momentum here, key levels, identifying those, and I am determining which level I would like to go long or I would like to go short on based on all of the information that I'm collecting here. The very last thing I do is I go down to the 5-minute time frame, which is my entry model time frame. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is I'm actually pulling up the RSI, okay, because I like to use the RSI in my analysis as well, because what I'm basically looking at is just some kind of divergence here, like in this situation where we can see it was overbought technically on the 5-minute, and as you can see we are here, but then we have a higher price that's showing a divergence, right? So we can kind of assume that there might be a potential reversal, could be a nice key level to short up there, which obviously in hindsight it was. But that's kind of something we consider too. So based on all these factors here, we come up with a risk score out of 100, 100 being very risky and 1 being very low risk. And how the trade setup will look, it'll be a limit order like this that's posted in the Discord and or the Telegram. And let's say it says it's a very high risk trade, like 90 out of 100. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to be very strict on the entry. We want price to pull back quite far if we want to go long so we get a very attractive price. And perhaps we only do a 1-to-1 risk to reward with a proper stop loss like that, and that would be a high risk trade. Or let's say it's a low risk trade, right? Then we're going to go closer to the market price, so we have a higher probability of getting entered into that trade, and maybe we will do something like a 1-to-2 risk to reward for a risk off trade. And we are going to be posting trade ideas like this for multiple assets across multiple different sessions. Anyone can take advantage of it. It's going to be so high value. If you want in, comment VIP and I will send you the link.